Hello everyone. Now one more technique is there that we call a successive approximation technique. So that we'll be using, and one more topic is the sample and hold circuit. So we'll be looking after these two topics in this video. First, talking about the success approximation technique, just we need to remember that when we go to some market, the old in the vegetable markets and all, the before used to have a the balance the some vegetables you put into the one side and the we keep a weight, and if you keep it for 500 grams and if you put a vegetable, that will be showing a unbalanced thing unless you keep, so add some vegetable which is saying that okay it is almost equal, the balance will be in the center. If it is not balanced, so that time it will be waving towards the one which is having the more weight. Similarly, that principle we'll be using here, we'll be using one reference, another as the changing values there, as we do in the vegetable, the weighing machines. Okay. So first looking at the circuit, will there one registers are there, control register, where we call it as a successive approximation registers. So what we'll be using, we'll be giving the first bits as all 00. So we are resetting it to the 0, and that will be provided to the DAC. That is digital to analog conversion. That will be compared with the Vout, and Vin is given from the input. What is the standard values? Might be I'm taking it as a 1 volt here. So depending on the voltage which you need to be measured. So that is given to the input attenuator, and that is sample and hold circuit. So we'll be looking in detail about the sample and hold circuit in the next PPT. And it is compared V in and V out. That is V out is from the SAR, which is digitally converted to analog. So that is provided to the gate, and that feedback again taken and given it back to the SAR register. So here the signal whatever they generated is usually used from the multivibrator. It's given through the multivibrator there. So now first we'll consider two cases here. Generally I will explain here, then I'll go by one table is that I'll be going through it. So first, as I said, all the SAR registers are resetted, so all the values will be 000. All the 8 bits will be on 00. So the output will be 0. V out will be 0 there. Now I'll be considering the V in as a 1 volt. At the first clock pulse, the control circuit, what is there? It will set MSB bit, that is a D7, as to 1. So the bit will be 100000000. So what is now V out? V out is nothing but V out is equals to, because of 7th bit, 8th bit it is D7, the MSB bit is V out is equals to V reference divided by 2. What is the V reference? I'll be using it as the 5 volts. So V in is what? 1 volt, V reference is 5 volts. So V out is equals to V reference is equals to 5 divided by 2, 2.5. So here V in is 1, V out is 2.5. So V in is less than V out. So that time that bit is not used, that bit is resetted again. If it in the case, I'm not taking it as the same example. If it considers the case, if V in was greater than V out, then the DS7 bit is retained. If the V7 bit is retained. As it is not, it is resetted. So again next pulse it will be going to the V in D6 is equals to 1. So that time the bit will be 0 1 0 0 0 0 0. So that was the case what I am considering here. Okay, so I am just taking an example, but here I have explained with a different mode. So that time if it is V in is greater than V out, again that bit is retained. But how it is calculated V out? That time D7 and D6 bit has to be V reference divided by 2 plus V reference divided by 4. So that time it will be considered here like that way. Okay, I know it will be kind of a confusing. So we'll go by with an example. We can understand you easily. See, one table is here at the left hand side. So one general bit is given that we have to be manipulated or calculated there, 00110011. So first, what is the I'll be, as per the rules, I'll be going with the D7 set. So D7 is equals to 1, and V in is what they have given as 1 volt, as I told it, explained it earlier. So V in is equals to 1, but V reference is V out is what? V reference divided by 2. So again, V in less than V out. The table is given here in the V in less than V out. So the set is output is D7 is again has to be reset. Similarly, in the next step, see here D6. It is nothing but it is not, it is resetted. So V6 is equals to set 1. V out is what now? V reference divided by 4. V reference divided by 4. So what is happening again? Pi divided by 4 is 1.25. Again, V in is less than V out. So again, D6 bit is resetted. Next, coming to the D5. What is happening? V in is 1. Again, the bit value, that is what V reference divided by 1 by 5 by 16. It is nothing but 0.625. Is V out is 0.625. So here V in is greater than V out. So that bit is retained. In the next one, so see here, you can see D5 bit is retained and the D6, D4 bit is again set to 1. What is now? We have to consider D7 was 1 by 2, D6 was 1 by 4, D5 was 1 by 8, and D4 is 1 by 16. So V reference divided by 16 plus V reference divided by 8 plus V reference divided by 16 is again 0.9375, which is V in is 1 volt, V out is 0.9375. Of course, you know V in is greater than 1. Again, that bit is retained. But coming to the next step, you can see here D3 has to be set. So again, together V reference divided by 8, V reference divided by 16, V reference divided by 32. This has to be calculated. So that time, the table they have, the value they have given is wrong here. Okay, it has to be, because it should be 1.12 something. Approximately has to come in the range of 1.2. Okay, so that time V in is less than V out. Okay, again it is reset that bit. Again we have to go to the D2. Like that, all the step has to be done. We have to calculate all the set and we have to compare the values like this way. And this here in the D3 and D2, these both values are wrong. It has to be approximated around 1.2 or 1.1. Okay, so like that, if you have done all the steps, everything has to be in the form of like this only 0 0 1 1 0 0 1 1, because here in the D1 and D0 again the V in will be greater than V out. Please check out that. Take D7 as, when you set the values at D7, it has to be V reference divided by 2, D6 V reference divided by 4, D5 V reference divided by 8, D4 V reference divided by 16, D3 V reference divided by 32, next D2 V reference divided by 64, V reference divided by 64, now like that V reference divided by 128, then last D0 V reference divided by 256. So this everything has to be calculated when it has to be set, and once the bit has been set, you has to keep it like that way. So this is what the step it is. Okay, we'll go once again in the deep discussion about it. But what is this? The advantage of this, it is very speed when compared to the counter type of ADC, and it is a good ratio of speed to power. It is a small power, it is very good, having very good speed, and it is a compact design which is compared to the flash type. It will give in the very speed way, and it is very inexpensive. And what is the disadvantage? The cost is little high because of that SAR. If you have more efficiency, you have to use a more SAR. But when you go for that speed, that is very little inexpensive. But when you go to the very good high, very good fast reacting SAR, it is little costly. Okay. then design is little complicated. So it is having some kind of a complexity there. Okay. So next we'll look after the sample and hold circuit. In the SAR, I told about the sample and hold circuit. Okay. So what is this all sample and hold circuit? It's just you can see it in the left side of the circuit. A voltage is given to the switch, which is connected there, kind of a coil type. Okay. So usually it consists of a switch and a capacitor. In the sample mode, the switch is closed and the capacitor gets charged to the instantaneous value of the input voltage. Whatever the voltage is given to the capacitor and charged up to the one level. In the hold mode, the switch is opened and the capacitor holds that voltage. At that instant of time, the switch was opened. Up to one certain level, we have to charge the capacitor to a certain level. We have to make a switch it on, and up to the when the capacitor has to be stopped, so we have to make a switch open. That we call it as a hold mode. The charging the capacitor, sample mode. The holding the or making it stop the capacitor to charge the, it's called as a hold mode. The sample waveform can be seen here. You can see here when a moment when a capacitor is charging, it charge up to one level, and after in the hold mode it retains its same state, the level at the same state. Again, when you switch is on, again it starts to as next level. Again, when the switch is open, it retains the same state. So you can see a step type. So from this peak level, at the edge of this peak level, we can make the approximation, and we can make it as a the digital to analog conversion. We called it as in a conversion type, where we convert analog to digital to analog conversion. We say it usually an approximation, or we need to use later the quantization process and all. So we need not much worry about the quantization process. So this is the what we saw is the theoretical switch. Now we'll be using a practical switch. How this actually works. You can see here the VIN is having a certain of resistance there, R1 and RF. R1 is the input resistor, RF is the feedback resistor there. The usually sample pulse operates at switch 1 and 2. So sample mode is what? Making the capacitor charge. So when it is the switch is on, the mode is charge. The switch 1 is connected to ground, and the switch 3 again connected to the here, and it is both are grounded there. Okay, the switch 1 is grounded here, and the switch 3 is charged, and it is given to the holding capacitor. Next, in the sample hold, pulses are complementary. What will happen in the hold mode? The sample mode, the hold capacitor is charged up by the op-amp. The op-amp is present here, it is charged. In the hold mode, the capacitor is switched into the feedback mode. What is happening? It is again connected to the switch 2 and switch 4. Switch 4 is what is happening. It is retaining its state. It is not connected to any other the resistor, or a kind of a holding the resistor there. You can see here switch 4 is connected to the ground here, and switch 2 is connected to the feedback resistor. So again, that whatever the capacitor is there is retained here. So these are op-amps are used to increase the available driving current into the capacitor, or to isolate the capacitor from the external load on the output. So it shouldn't affect any kind of using the external load there. Usually here the op-amps are used, charges the capacitor in the sample mode and retains the charge during the hold mode. So charging is through one channel, and one is switch is grounded, another this holding mode, the another one is charged, another is making it using the feedback loop, it is connecting here. You can see it a loop here. Okay. So these are the references. The HS Kersey, the electronic instrumentation, what will be referring. Other two are the reference books. Okay. Thank you.